What is going on, guys? Sorry for the Egyptian music. That's why I'm on here early, to kind of stop the bleeding. It's paused, don't worry. What's going on, guys? Ooh, sorry, my webcam's actually messed up. So, as you guys can see, we have a new format. I look a little different here. Kind of messed with my setup just a little bit. But everything else stayed the same. Also, you'll notice that our chat format kind of changed. It's going to be more interactive, guys, so thank you for showing all your support, guys, recently. TJ, I can't hear you. Are you muted still? I think you are. Yeah, you're still muted. TJ, can you hear me? Hold on, guys. TJ? Oh, hold on. I just hung up on him. I'll call him back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We have to get it right here the very first time. You good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
God,
I thought there was a connection issue.
How long were you seeing what I was doing?
We were sitting there for about a minute looking at you.
I was just... Could you hear me? Oh, you can't, because I muted my... What's it called? I accidentally turned the volume off on my laptop. So I'm sitting there and I was like, oh, wait, I should probably check and see what's going on.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. As I was saying, the format looks a little different. If you guys can see on the right, we have now what's called Super Chat, so enjoy that format, guys. I said also twice. You'll notice that the lighting's different in here. My format's a little different. I spent all day working on my setup, so again, guys, thank you so much for all the support. Let's go ahead and jump right into the slate. We got started just a little bit late, but again, it's only a 5-game slate, so not too much should be impacted. This slate, as of right now, isn't as straightforward as the previous slates that we've had. I know Atlanta... last night. Oh, by the way, guys, last night was phenomenal. I mean, we had takedowns in our Discord. I'm sure a couple of you guys had some takedowns. I know TJ had a nice little takedown. So we'll see what's going to be going on with his $400 entry live finale contest that he'll be entering in. I don't know if he's going to do it today, but he's going to be doing it pretty soon. So let's root for TJ as he enters that contest. I'm sure he'll let us all know if he's entering it. But guys, let's go ahead and dive right into this. TJ, what are your initial thoughts on this slate?
Yeah, so still pending some injury news, and most of it coming from Cleveland, and then obviously Trae Young, whether or not he's going to play. Missed last night with an illness, still questionable tonight. If he sits again, it looks like stacking Atlanta and Memphis will be a very popular play in terms of cash, GPPs, and everything. So we're definitely waiting the Trae Young news. Cam Reddish is also questionable as well. He's probable. So it's mostly just Trae Young. He sits. That means, back to Kevin Huerter, back to Collins, Hunter, Reddish. Jeff Teague will probably start again in a very nice matchup against Memphis. So I'm definitely interested to see whether or not Trae Young plays. Hopefully we get that news before tip. They start at 8, so that's pretty crucial. Cleveland still pending Tristan Thompson and Andre Drummond. So that's pretty big in terms of the big situation there for Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Kevin Porter and Garland are out, so that's pretty big for those guards like Sexton, Dellavedova, and Cedi Osman. Those are legitimately the only 3 guys that can handle the ball tonight. Looks like all of them might start too, so that's pretty big. Let's start with Philly and Golden State.
I agree.
Because that's actually something that, that picture is clear. We know all the injuries and everything like that, so.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and start there. I'll go ahead and kick it off because you normally do. So with Philly, we have Al Horford here. His price got decreased. I don't know why. Again, it's going to be in a pace of spot, I guess because of the matchup. They have here ranked 2nd in the league against versatile bigs. But again, Golden State has changed so much that really doesn't matter to me. At 6.6, obviously with all the usage, him and Harris actually average the same fantasy point per minute. I think it's 1.23 the last time I looked at it. 1.28. I don't know. 1.23, yeah. So Horford and Tobias Harris, as far as their output, is pretty identical. 6.8 point per dollar value here on our sheet is going to be the chalkiest guy on the slate as of right now, I'm assuming. So I do like Al Horford. I'm actually in love with Al Horford. I'll have very high exposure to him. Also, Shake Milton here coming in at 5.7 point per dollar value. I do like Shake Milton. And then obviously with Tobias Harris, the only thing I don't like about Tobias is his price tag. But again, it's still a good option. Again, Philly's in the pace-up spot versus the Warriors. We know that the Warriors Warriors suck. So defensively, they shouldn't be able to keep up with Tobias and Al Horford all night. They should be able to score at will. And again, if you're going to take stabs at a couple of these guys, we know that Glenn Robinson's been getting a very good run here, 3.9K. I do like him for value. Again, he's carrying very low ownership, so could end up being a decent GPP option.
Revenge game?
Yeah, didn't even think about that. Nice connection.
Sure.
So there's that factor too. So maybe he'll get some extended minutes. I don't know. We'll see. But as far as these other value guys like Korkmaz, yeah, GPP only. I'm not really intrigued with Mike Scott now with this price tag. I know he's been killing it, but 26 minutes, 4.3 got a little price bump. TJ, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Al Horford's a lock for me tonight. The price tag went down, doesn't make much sense. Playing Golden State, really good matchup. So, I mean, Al Horford's definitely going to be a lock in cash. The Tobias Harris price tag is a little iffy at 8.3, but I mean, it's still an awesome spot for both those guys tonight against Golden State. So, I definitely like both those guys tonight in cash. If I'm going anywhere after that, it'd probably be Shake Milton at 6.3. He's played 28 minutes the last 2 games. Actually has the second highest usage rate on the team with Richardson, Simmons, and Embiid off the court, 25%. So I definitely don't hate him. More of a GPP play though. I think Tobias and Al are going to be the 2 obvious plays tonight for cash. So yeah, I mean, Mike Scott, you mentioned him. He rates out pretty decent on our sheet still. He's a 5.2. The usage isn't there. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him tonight. So yeah, I think Al and Tobias are 2 pretty obvious plays tonight for cash. So
yeah, and the sneaky GPP option, just because the ownership is Shake Milton, obviously has been playing pretty well. So I think the basic overview of this team: Al Horford and Harris lock in cash, and then these other guys become very intriguing GPP options. I think we can both agree there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and flip over to the Warriors. So now we know that Curry, Draymond are out for these guys, and it's kind of interesting because overall the Warriors price tags are kind of hold on one second. Is the stream working for you guys? It looks like we lost some viewers. I just want to make sure that the stream's still working. Hopefully everything looks good on my end. TJ, do you know if it looks good on your end?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong.
Okay, just making sure. All right, so with the Golden State Warriors, it looks like the price tags are coming down finally a little bit, but I'm still awaiting for all those price tags to kind of decrease because they're still on their way down. Because as we know, Marquise Chris was 5'9". He was about that price tag without Steph Curry. Pascal was about that same price tag. Damian Lee. So really, it was kind of underwhelming when these guys got ruled out for Golden State. Not too much usage to go around. The one thing I do like about this team is that they're on a very tight rotation. TJ, you know that we love to target teams like this in tight rotations. Them and Cleveland have been in very tight rotations, so I do like these guys for GPP. And Mulder, we can't ignore here at 32 minutes at 3.7K, 6.1 point per dollar value. Obviously, I know you're in love with him. Mulder obviously is a very, very good value play to contest somebody like Dellavedova, and obviously with Philly's value plays. So I do like these guys in general for GPP. It's just going to be hard to kind of take a stab at any one guy because all these guys are priced they're pretty similar. So you look at Chris 5.9, Pascal 5.5, Damian Lee 5.7. I mean, I like all those plays just the same. I like them all. So again, take your pick. If I had to pick one, I guess I would say Chris, just because that soft, as we know, soft down low defense now with Philly, with Embiid not being there. And then there's always Bender here at 20 minutes if he does draw the start. I like him at 3.3. And then even Anderson, you can make a case for him at 23 minutes. TJ, what is your thoughts on Golden State?
Yeah, so for me, it's pretty dependent on, Tristan Thompson will play. Hold on.
Okay, we're getting a lot of injury news updates.
Andre Drummond ruled out.
Okay, so Tristan Thompson's in, Andre Drummond's out.
McKinney will play.
McKinney's in, okay, that really won't affect too much.
But now at least we can run the Cavaliers number confidently and know who's in, who's out.
Right.
All right. So for Golden State, it's pretty dependent on who's going to start. I'm assuming Pascal comes off the bench, which is what he has in all of these instances. I really like him. He's probably my favorite Golden State guy right now at 5,500. 2.2% usage bump with all these guys off the court. 1.08 fantasy points per minute, and actually garnishes the second highest usage rate at 22.6%. Not too high, but still better than most. So I definitely like Pascal. If Mulder starts, sees 32 minutes at 3,700. I definitely like him. Only averages 0.72 fantasy points per minute, but I expect him to be able to get the value at 3,700 tonight if, in fact, he does start and play the 32 minutes. Bender, GPP play for me. He definitely could start at the 5. At the 4.
Yeah.
Alongside Chris. Actually, no. I'm trying to think of what they did last time. I'm pretty sure Chris played the 4. Bender played the 5. I can't remember. One of the two. Bender must have played the 4. I think that would make sense. Bender starts at 3,300. I definitely like him as a punt play. Actually averages 1.02 fantasy points per minute. And since he's come to Golden State with all these injuries off the court, or with all these guys off the court, actually garnishes a 20.5% usage rate. So pretty high for a big man, especially a guy like Dragon Bender. So those are 3 guys that I like. I think Pascal, for me, if I can fit him in cash, I like it. Mulder as well. You alluded to Chris. I mean, no Embiid, so at 5,900, I definitely don't hate him. Actually averages the highest fantasy point per minute on Golden State at 1.28 with all their injuries. So definitely don't hate him as a GPP play. And then like Wiggins, of course, I mean, he's the stud of the group, so I wouldn't hate him as a GPP play also. I just think Pascal is just always my guy when Draymond's out.
Yeah.
And now we don't have Steph either, obviously, so he's the guy that I'm looking at.
It becomes your normal-looking Golden State Warrior roster here without Steph and Draymond, the roster that we're used to. So again, I just like the tight rotation. And guys, before we go any further, somebody just said that they can't hear me. I wasn't talking, so hopefully that's just a misconception here. Let me know if my mic's good. Let me know if you can hear TJ. Again, it's a new setup, so I do apologize, guys, if we're off to a rocky start here. Golden State. Let's move on down to. Well, do you want to go straight to Cleveland now?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's go ahead and start computing numbers. So,
we can wait because the minutes are going to be updated. Well, so they have Drummond pegged to 26. I would assume like Nance goes to 30, TT goes to 28, Kevin Love probably stays the same, and then they give like Zizic probably goes from 4 to like 12.
Yeah,
I feel like that's 8. That's like 20 minutes that I just dispersed. Do
you want to start computing now based on your minute projections? They're usually on point, so.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and do it. So, guys, for everybody that is new, thank you so much for the support, by the way. We got like 26 subscribers today. I do appreciate it. If you guys are new.
Best, man, seriously.
Yeah, what we do here is that we compute our own values here. So, for the boring part of the stream, I'm sorry, this is what we do. We want to make sure we're giving you the best product here. So what we do is we look at usage rates, and we take certain people off the court. So as we know, with Cleveland, they have a laundry list full of injuries here. So I go down the list, and I take these guys off the court to see how everybody else kind of produces with them off the court.
We didn't get anything on Dean Wade, but I mean, I don't expect him to get another run. He actually played against the Celtics. I was really surprised at that.
Drummond, Porter.
Played 15 minutes.
Now, you're going to have to tell me the guys that I'm missing that aren't in the player pool.
It's Drummond, Exum.
Okay.
Garland, bottom left.
Garland. Thank you so much for the subscription, Fresh. Thank you so much. Garland, Porter.
Dylan Windler, and Porter.
Uh-huh.
And that is it.
Okay. All right, let's compute.
Oh, and then, I'm sorry, you got to take off Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
You got to throw him at the bottom.
And gonna be looking at some comments. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking.
Hold on, sorry. Okay, go back, Matt. You have to take off Clarkson, you have to take off Knight, and you have to take off Henson.
I hate teams like this at the end of the season.
I know, it's very
Knight and who?
John Henson.
You're so good with that memory. Let's go. Henson's off, Brandon Knight, and Brandon Knight's going to actually be another good player we're going to talk about a little bit later here. All right, so biggest boost. It looks like Kevin Love and 112 minutes. Thank you for the subscription, Barbecue. Thank you so much.
He gets a 5. Barbecue, what's good? Saturdays. Let's get some barbecues. Let's get some Bud Light seltzers going around, boys.
Yeah, I wish I could barbecue.
And ladies. Ladies.
It's not that warm out.
Yeah, I know. But we're getting close. We're getting closer to warmer weather. Golf season is approaching. Golf lineup, actually, for those of you who took it, is hanging on. It's doing pretty well, surprisingly. Only 4 guys made the cut because Carlos Ortiz is trash.
He said surprisingly.
Wow. Good. Love.
What's up?
Okay.
Yeah, Love is sick. Love is nasty, guys. Good GPP play before looking.
Sexton.
Osman 0.78 actually, which isn't that bad.
I mean, all these guys just look pretty decent.
Yeah, it's going to be a tighter rotation.
Sans TT.
Sexton looks decent too.
Look at Dellavedova's fantasy point.
I know. Bad. All right.
And look at his usage rate too. That's the worst part. And he's still decent on the shit. That's crazy. He's got a 9.7% usage rate. So yeah, Matt. I pegged, like I said, I pegged Love at 33. I'm actually gonna put Nance at 32. Sexton 37, TT 28, Osman 35, Deli 30.
Okay. So you put Nance at 32.
Yeah.
All right.
That might be a little high.
Ooh, 1.37, but that's 65 minutes, man. I'm just gonna take Drummond off. I'm gonna keep these guys on.
I mean, yeah, for the bigs, you can keep on Clarkson. You can keep on Clarkson. You can keep on Knight. I would probably just take off Henson too.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
That's exactly what I did actually. So where is he? Nance is at 0.9. Okay, so that's not gonna change. Okay, so
what was he at?
0.91. Henson and Drummond.
And he was at
I literally just took off Henson and Drummond.
Oh, okay. You didn't take off Windler, Garland, Porter.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just because it left that small minute sample set. But regardless, I'm going with Rodos because he's at 7.1K, so that's just scary in general. All right, so let's break down Cleveland. So Cleveland, this is for you. Dellavedova, 7.1. Obviously is not that intriguing just from a fantasy point per minute perspective.
Wait, Matt, real quick. Sorry, I just want to cut you off. Troy Jackson subscribed. Did he get a pop-up?
Who did?
Troy Jackson said, "Pissed I subscribed, no pop-up." Heard it. Troy, thank you for the subscription.
Thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate that. If you don't get the pop-up, what it does is it kind of it like goes into a queue. So what it does is it does it every so often. If it doesn't pop up, I promise, just enter in the comment section and we will give you a shout out. So thank you so much.
Guys, one more thing real quick. I don't want to beg, but 148 watching and only 23 likes.
Yeah, that's a little.
I just want to point that out. That's it. You don't have to like it if you don't like it. Go ahead, Matt.
But if you do, please like it. Just no dislikes, please. All right, Deli at 7.1. I'm going to go with Roto's projection just because his fantasy point per minute output is just so poor. So, again, you just can't really ignore somebody like that in this very tight rotation. At least a guard play with Cleveland. 30 minutes. So you obviously just can't ignore that. 3.1. He's going to be one of my favorite value plays here on the slate, obviously just because of the minutes. Kevin Love averaged 1.46 fantasy points per minute. I'm going to be overweight on him. Obviously, we're going to expect that percentage ownership to go up from 8%. We have to kind of wait to see what the percentage ownership does look like. But Kevin Love's going to make for a great GPP option. Osman also averages 0.78 fantasy points per minute. We never like taking Osman. I don't think any DFS player can admit that they like taking Osman. But guys, 35 minutes the minutes are going to be there. If you're looking for a safe play, PJ, thank you so much for the subscription. If you're looking for a safer play, high minutes, very tight rotation in the guards, then Osman, guys, I don't hate it. Definitely going to be a pace down spot for them against Denver. But again, Osman's going to get probably one of the most minutes here on the team. Sexton has been playing about 40 minutes at 6.9K, 37 minutes, averages 1.05 fantasy points per minute, a 5.6 on their sheet. I will say this, TJ, I'm not too intrigued here with Thompson or Nance, just because, again, it's a pace down spot. 7.1K and 6.2K does kind of scare me. I'm definitely more intrigued in this in these guards for Cleveland. What are your thoughts on Cleveland?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, Dellavedova at 3-1 kind of just seems like a free spot tonight, especially if he starts. He's not very productive, only a 9.7% usage rate, which is absurdly low. But that's with him not starting. So with him starting, I expect it to be up. I alluded to it a little bit ago. The only ball handlers that they really have are Sexton, Deli, and I guess you can consider Osman a ball handler if you want to. Not a very high usage guy. So I definitely like Deli. I mean, just based off of recency bias for like the matchup against Denver is tough. You know, I had my foot in my mouth the other night with Charlotte, saying that they wouldn't even score 80 points against Denver and put up 112. So the NBA this year the defense has just been.
Well, Denver has been playing at a higher pace in general lately. So.
Yeah. So I mean, Sexton at 6'9", I really like. the minutes have just been absolutely absurd for him. He put up 30 shots against the Celtics, and he still had 17 against Utah. So even if he can put up 17 again, his usage rate has been up significantly with Garland off the court. So I think Sexton and Dellavedova are the two guys I'm looking at, and then obviously Kevin Love. I expect his ownership to
go up
to skyrocket a little bit here. I don't know if he'll be a cash play, but for GPPs for sure, like Matt said, 1.45 fantasy points per minute, 1.46, 5.8% usage bump with Drummond and others off the court, 30% usage guy for Cleveland. So yeah, I definitely like Kevin Love. I mean, if I land on him in cash, it's still I wouldn't hate it, but Trae Young is still kind of dictating where, if he's in or out, will kind of dictate where my mindset is. So yeah, but for Cleveland, the tight rotation will be there. I think with Tristan Thompson on the court, it takes away a little bit from Kevin Love, but not enough that I would want to get off of him. But yeah, I think Sexton and Delly are probably going to be cash viable. Delly being most likely a lock at 3-1 and starting, and then Kevin Love, yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, and Nance just went up to 29 minutes. Thompson got updated to 31. So
they flipped him.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing too much here with Thompson and Nance. The ownership on these guys will probably be lower than what it should be, just because of this low over under. And as you alluded to, with Atlanta and Memphis having that very high over under, again, Philly's going to have a lot of chalk, and even some Golden State. But if you look here at Cleveland, 104.25, people are going to look at that and just not be intrigued in general. I'm telling you guys right now, there's a lot of guard play I'm interested in for GPPs and these guys, so definitely like the stack here for Cleveland. If they do hit over 104, then there's going to be some good value in that game for sure. All right, you want to stay in the same game, move over to Denver, or do they not intrigue you?
Yeah, we can touch base on them really quick. I mean, in terms of cash, I don't really have any love for any of these guys. Hold on, sorry, I'm sidetracked here. I was looking at something else. I mean, I guess I don't hate like Will Barton at 5'3". I think that's a pretty cheap price tag for
his
for
price
him.
Tag's been going down.
Yeah, I mean his production as well a little bit. And then Jamal Murray at 6'7". I don't hate Jokic. Like I don't hate these guys, but in terms of cash, I don't know if I'm gonna get on them. I think if I were to get on one, it would probably be like Jamal Murray or Barton, and not pay up for Jokic, but. I actually think those three will probably carry the most ownership, and rightfully so for Denver. So I don't hate the idea of rostering them, but I just don't know if I will. If I get one of them in there, I'm definitely okay with that. So and it would definitely be one of those three.
I mean, in the percentage ownership in general shows a little too high for me to like these guys in tourneys. I mean, 25, 27, 27% for these top three studs here on Denver. Going against Cleveland, I get it because it's an over-under game, or it's a high-pace over-under game for them. I'm not too intrigued with these guys as well. At least for cash, like if they happen to fall in one of your last spots, I'm sure you would be fine with that, TJ. But other than that, it's not like you have to prioritize anybody from here. Again, there's just everybody's back for these guys. They're a very good team in general, so a lot of people step up. You can't really pen which one's gonna do that. I mean, Jamal Murray obviously has a high ceiling. Jokic has a very high ceiling. Same thing with Barton. If they get going, you just don't know which one's gonna do it. Even Millsap. So again. And they have shooters. They have great shooters with Gary Harris. I could definitely get behind for GPPs playing 31 minutes. So, again, just so many options. It's just hard to pinpoint. It's a lot easier to pinpoint my favorite plays from these other games. All right. So, do you want to talk about Detroit and Utah? I feel like that's a very interesting game to look at.
Oh, yeah, that is, yeah.
So, with Detroit, you want to go ahead and start there?
Yeah. So, Detroit. Brandon Knight probable, so he'll be good to go. We're getting a lot of injury news from Phoenix right now. Ayton and Cam Johnson out again. So Detroit, still without Griffin, still without D. Rose, still without Kennard, and Brandon Knight is probable. So with that being said, the over-under is, they have the worst over-under team total on the slate at 101.25. But Brandon Knight at 4.8 is the guy that kind of sticks out to me. Averages 1.03 fantasy points per minute, 26% usage rate with those said three guys off the court. So I definitely like Brandon Knight. Jordan McRae actually came in. He wasn't even in the player pool against OKC. He played 26 minutes, got 22 points. So
such a beast.
Kind of affected Brandon Knight's productivity a little bit in terms of usage. He had a 30% usage rate against Sacramento and then down to 21% against OKC because we know Jordan McRae, when he's in the game, primary ball handler, actually had a 25% usage rate. So that's definitely an interesting tidbit in terms of Brandon Knight. So that's, Brandon Knight in terms of our sheet looks very good. He's actually a 6.9, so I definitely like him tonight, but I don't know if the ownership will be there for cash. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe as like a last piece, but I definitely like him. Tough matchup against Utah. And then Mikhailuk at 4K actually rates out to a 6.3 on our sheet, gets a 2.8% usage bump, averages 0.91 fantasy points per minute. So I definitely don't hate Mikhailuk. He's definitely going to shoot. That's the one thing we know that he will do. He's not afraid to take shots, especially from 3. So, I mean, if he takes 8, 9 threes and can hit 4 of them, I mean, he's already almost a value being at 4K. So if the minutes are there for Mikhailuk, I don't hate him. More of a pump play or a GPP play. I mean, if he's showing at 1% ownership, I'll definitely be overweight on him. But besides that, I'll take shots with Christian Wood. Obviously, he's been, they're studs so far with all their other guys out. So gets a 3% usage bump, 1.18 fantasy points per minute, 26% usage rate. So I definitely don't hate Christian Wood banging down low against Gobert. But I think if I had to prioritize these Detroit guys, it would probably go Brandon Knight, Mikhailuk, and then Christian Wood, and then definitely some exposure to McRae.
Yeah, I can basically agree with you on everything you just said. I think by far, though, I think Brandon Knight's still the remaining starter here. I don't think McRae is going to contest him for his minutes, at least. Yeah, but like you said, the usage is still going to be taken away. I do like McRae. I hope he does get more minutes going forward. But I think as far as this team as compared to the rest of the slate, these guys are going to be more GPP options, with the exception maybe Brandon Knight, because of their ownership. I mean, everybody's showing virtually unowned, and the good reason for it is because they're showing at a 101 over-under. It's been going down ever since the slate started. So I do like Brandon Knight as a GPP option. I do like Christian Wood, like you alluded to. But outside of that, it's going to be very touchy. I do like Mikhailuk as an outside GPP option. But again, if you're looking at these other teams, there's a lot more straightforward plays other than Brandon Knight. So again, I'm not going to repeat everything you just said. I do like Detroit for GPPs. All right, so Utah, let's flip it over there. So we know Mike Conley got a price decrease. Gobert got a price decrease. Donovan Mitchell got a slight price decrease. Everybody got a price decrease. Every single person on this roster pretty much. I know, I was literally just thinking that meme.
Yeah.
So Clarkson did too. So there's a lot to talk about. A lot of interesting plays. Now, like Denver, this team is very good. They have a lot of scoring options, so you really don't know who's going to step up on any given night. Going against Detroit, they should have a lot of scoring opportunities here. Mike Conley tops our list. Rudy Gobert is actually viable for once in my books. I don't think I've started Rudy Gobert this entire season. Jordan Clarkson, 25 minutes. Donovan Mitchell's still there. So, again, TJ, what are your thoughts? I like everybody in this team. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's a good team to target for GPPs. In terms of cash, Mike Conley is the guy that I'm looking at. I definitely don't hate Gobert in the matchup at 7.6. I feel like that's a little bit too low of a price tag for him. Conley he was 5.7 against the Knicks, 5.4 against the Celtics. Obviously on a back-to-back. We just got ruled that he is confirmed playing today. So if he starts again, I mean, the back-to-back's kind of scary, but if he plays and gets 30-plus minutes, I definitely like Mike Conley at 4.9. I think that's way too cheap for him. He's been playing he absolutely torched the Celtics last night. Conley's the guy that I'm getting drawn to. And then Jordan Clarkson at 4K, his price tag has come down pretty crazy. He was just 5.7 against Phoenix 2 weeks ago. Down to 4K. Rates out really well on our sheet, so this is another pump play for me. If he's at 10% ownership, I'm definitely going to be overweight on him. 0.96 fantasy points per minute, so nothing too crazy, but if he can see those 25 minutes, I definitely like Clarkson for GPPs. That's kind of, Bogdy, Mitchell, all these guys are really cheap for this matchup against Detroit. So more GPP plays, but if I'm taking Avery from cash, it's going to be Conley at 4.9.
Yeah, and I think Conley just got put into the starting lineup, or confirmed anyway.
He got confirmed to be playing. I don't necessarily know if he's starting. If he does start, I'll...
Very good news for him.
Yes.
All right, yeah, so TJ, I just want to touch base on the question we got in the chat. Did your price go up or down from Wally Ball Tuesday?
My price definitely rose. I had a very strong matchup on Tuesday. We actually got playoffs this Tuesday. First 4 teams get buys, so we're the 6th seed, so we're playing like the 14 seed or something like that.
Oh, nice.
So it should just be easy breezy couple games.
It's March Madness for you guys.
Yeah, price tag definitely went up for me. I had a strong outing.
So more of a GPP play at this point.
For playoffs, you might be able to get away with me cash. I think I'd be cash viable. But once those other 4 teams are playing, so like the next round of playoffs, definitely more of a GPP.
You know, people are joining our stream right now, and they're immediately just logging off because they have no idea what you're talking about. So
volleyball guys, I'm a huge volleyball guy. That's why I have the neck pillow on, so that my neck doesn't hurt me while I'm playing on Tuesdays. So, but let's get back to the basketball.
Yeah. So Memphis, let's go to Memphis and Atlanta. We're not gonna be able to talk about Atlanta, but Memphis has some chalky plays in here. So. Yes. Valanciunas is going to be relatively chalky here. 33% ownership is what he's pinned at here in a pace-up spot. Obviously, a very good matchup against Atlanta Bigs. Dylan Brooks also being a fairly chalky option. Ja Morant, it's not necessarily that they rate fantastic on their sheet. It's just that they're in the prime matchup here. Anybody playing Atlanta, anybody playing the Pelicans, anybody playing the Wizards are in very, very good matchups just because of the pace. So I like these guys just because of the pace, but again, not as productive as I'd like them to be. As we know, Dylan Brooks has been so up and down. Valanciunas, with his minutes, we never know. Ja Morant, obviously, has been so up and down, obviously. Kyle Anderson, just one of those players where it's just, I feel like he's always around 20 points, DK points. So again, TJ, what are your favorite plays from this? Are you going to be targeting anybody for GPPs?
For GPPs, yeah, and cash. I mean, Valanciunas, Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks are the 3 guys for cash I think are going to obviously carry a lot of ownership. It's a really good matchup against Atlanta. Should be high-paced. Targeting bigs against Atlanta is something we like to do night in and night out. So Valanciunas at 7.3 if he plays those 30 minutes. 1.35 fantasy points per minute with Jaren Jackson and Brandon Clark off the court. I feel like a broken record, but rates out pretty decent on our sheet, actually. So Valanciunas, I think he'll be one of the more chalkier guys on the slate. Ja Morant, I mean, guards against Atlanta as well tend to fare pretty good. Like last night, Jerome Robinson, Shabazz Napier, and Beal all had very strong games. So I definitely like Ja Morant and Dylan Brooks for that reason. The one thing now that I'm starting to look at is like, do you go Dylan Brooks, or if Mike Conley starts, do you go Mike Conley?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be very tough. It's going to be very tough. I feel like going Ja Morant and Valanciunas, and then I think that's enough. But like I think if the one person that's going to take 20+ shots out of those 3 is definitely going to be Dylan Brooks. Like Dylan Brooks just lets it fly.
Sure.
He's toned it down a little bit these last couple games, but in a prime matchup against Atlanta, he could easily come out and just start chucking up shots again.
I mean, Bradley Beal shot how many shots last night? So against Atlanta and just snapped. So again, we love targeting shooters and pace up spots, especially versus Atlanta. So Dylan Brooks definitely does fare well in that spot for sure.
Yeah, and then guys like Tyus Jones, Josh Jackson have been playing pretty good minutes. So I definitely like them for GPPs, especially Tyus. He's been playing very well these last couple games. Kind of been eating away at Melton's
minutes.
Melton's role, yeah, his minutes. So Tyus Jones at 4.2, if he's going to be 3%, I'll definitely have some exposure to him. Like you said, Kyle Anderson, I feel like he's very consistent. His minutes are always there, but the productivity is kind of like right around 20 points, like you said. So don't hate him for GPPs either. I think Tyus at 21 minutes is somebody that I do like as a punt play. But yeah, I think it's those 3 studs in Val, Ja, and Dylan Brooks for me. And I think they're all cash viable. So I think you need at least two of 3 of them tonight in cash. And if you have all 3, I don't think you're doing it wrong. I just think the Dylan Brooks, if Mike Conley starts, I think that's a toss-up. And that's a tough call. So
I just updated all the percentage ownership, and it definitely did something I didn't think it would. It looks like Cleveland went up. It went up more than I thought it would. Memphis stayed the same. Golden State went up, which I don't like just because I want leverage. Philly actually went down with Shake and Glenn Robinson, so it's just Al Horford Harris now. I think there was some ownership on these other guys. So I think the real team that it virtually shows no ownership now is Detroit. They went down in ownership. Utah looks like they're staying about the same. Actually went down a tad. So that's interesting to note. So the public's thinking like us, TJ. That nobody's really scared of Cleveland. However, being overly aggressive is a strategy. I'm definitely going to be with Cleveland and Golden State tonight. But yeah, that definitely shakes things up. So looking at percentage ownership down here, Horford, Harris, Valanciunas, Brooks, and Delly top the list here. So
I really don't want to play Dellavedova.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those plays where you just kind of you play and never look back.
I know, it's just you're handcuffed, and it's just like the fact. As long as he's confirmed starting, I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, for sure.
I assume he starts. They don't have anybody else, so yeah. I have a bad feeling about.
Do you want to talk about this last game and then kind of talk about the slate in general once we're done there? It looks like we're at 6:12 here, so we'll have about 18 minutes or so.
Yeah. What's the last? Sacramento and Portland.
Yeah.
So we're penning Rashawn Holmes. Not really anything, he won't shake up too much, but, it affects guys like Harry Giles, Bielitsa, Alex Len, things like that. So when we're looking at Sacramento, hold on. Sorry, I was looking at, got sidetracked again. I keep getting sidetracked because I keep looking at my phone waiting for Trae Young news. So, like, Harrison Barnes, I know you talked about him, like, 36 minutes. I feel like just the amount of minutes he plays is absurd. He's not very productive.
But he's consistent. That's the one thing I like about him.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. The one guy that I think I would be taking right now from Sacramento is just going to be De'Aaron Fox. 1.21 fantasy points per minute, 30% usage rate. Portland, again, defensively have not been strong over this last month. Trend continued last night against Phoenix when they got throttled. So I definitely like De'Aaron Fox as a... did I say De'Aaron?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Someone smacked me in the face. De'Aaron Fox, I definitely like him as a GPP play. Wouldn't mind him as a last piece for cash, I don't think. I can tell you now I'm probably not going to roster him in cash, but I definitely don't hate him. I think it's a good matchup against Portland. Bielitsa as a GPP play, I don't mind either. And then, like, Kent Bazemore has been playing some really, really good minutes for Sacramento. He played 30 minutes against Philly last game, so I don't hate him as a GPP play either. And then, these bigs like Alex Len, Harry Giles, it's pretty dependent on whether or not Rashawn Holmes plays. And even if Rashawn Holmes does play, he'll be on a minute restriction. So if he does play, it kind of takes me off of Len and Harry Giles. But if he sits, I wouldn't mind having a little bit of Alex Len. He's been somebody that I've been going to lately. Kind of burned me against Philly, but he's very productive when he's on the court and actually sees the minutes, so I wouldn't mind him. But, if Rashawn Holmes is in, I'm no chance. So, yeah, Fox, I think, not necessarily cash viable, but I definitely like him, and he would be my go-to right now for Sacramento.
Yeah, it's a pace-up spot for these guys. I'm not going to repeat everything you just said. I like Fox and I like Barnes as outside GPP options. Again, showing 17% ownership, they won't probably be in the majority of these cash game lineups, so I do like them for GPP. And they're playing Portland. So, again, pace-up spot. Switching over to Portland, I really only like one guy from this team. That's Damian Lillard. Whiteside, again, is too pricey for me. I know you like Whiteside just because of his upside, and he has a ton of upside for Whiteside. Just wanted to say that real quick. So Lillard at 5.4 averages close to 1.5 fantasy points per minute. I know he dropped a dud last night, but guess what? They're playing pace up. He got 38 minutes last night, so I don't really see concerns with him playing a lot of minutes in general. They usually play him the entire game if they can. So again, 9.6 makes out to be a decent GPP option. The only thing that scares me is showing 27% ownership in tournaments. So showing a bit high owned, which is definitely interesting. Who are your favorite plays?
It's those two. It's Dame and Whiteside. I said it last night. I'll say it again tonight. I really liked Whiteside last night in the matchup against Washington. Against Phoenix. Excuse me. Played really well. Double-double machine, 20 rebounds. It's just 23 points, 20 rebounds, 20-20 game. So, I fully expect him to be able to do that again tonight against Sacramento. A little bit of a tougher matchup against Giles. Hassan, even at 8-9, even with Dame back, is somebody I definitely like for GPPs. At 17%, I think that's a pretty good number for him, too. So I wouldn't mind matching the field or being a little bit overweight on him. And then, you said Dame. The minutes were something that we were trying to figure out as to where he would actually land after that Washington game. Played 38 minutes against Phoenix. So off the back-to-back, could be a little murky. Maybe he'll play. Maybe they'll bring him back a little bit. But if he plays 37, 38 minutes again against Sacramento in what could be a competitive game, like I definitely like Dame as a GPP play as well. Still rates out well on our sheet with Nurkic, Collins, and who else is out for them? And Hood out, who they've all been out for a while. And then if you take off Bazemore, rates out pretty well on our sheet. Like I just said, 2.5% usage bump, 1.48 fantasy points per minute. If the minutes are there, Dame for GPPs, definitely. So those two guys are definitely the two guys that I would like to target from Portland.
Yeah. Before we give our rough overview of the slate, which we're about to do, we give our favorite cash plays, our favorite GPP plays. I know there's a ton of new people in here. Guys, we are the Daily Grind Fantasy. We do this every single day before lock, and we make sure we give you guys the best plays right before lock, okay? And even all the way up through lock, we come back on the stream from 6:45 to 7, answer any last-minute questions. Hopefully we get that Trae Young news before the slate locks so we can give you guys the edge. But guys, guess what? If Trae Young is rolled out after lock, I will be updating everything in Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, go to my last video. We updated the Discord link. I also update everything on Twitter as much as I can, guys. I have a lot of things to do after lock, including my own lineups. So, again, thank you so much for the support.
And having a life.
Yeah, and having a life. I don't have a life, though. It's okay.
Somewhat. We have somewhat of life.
So, guys, we offer a cash optimal lineup on our website. We also offer a GPP cheat sheet where I give a breakdown of my favorite GPP options. Again, all those links are in the description. So if you guys have any questions, if you have questions about merchandise, we also have our merchandise in the description. So my marketing rant is over. Let's go ahead and break down the entire slate. TJ, fire away your favorite cash plays. I'm going to go ahead and break down my lineups here to kind of give my overview of the slate too after you're done.
So right now for me, I think Al Horford's a must. I think Valanciunas is a must. Those are two guys that I really like. I also really like Tobias Harris. So that would be three guys, all pretty high in terms of price. I don't want to roster Dellavedova. I'm going to say it right now. Even at 3,100, I'm not sorry, somebody messages. I'm not excited to roster Dellavedova. I don't know if I'm going to. I think it's stupid not to, but I just have a hunch that, getting to 15 points seems, easy, right?
It does. It should happen.
So, yeah, I'm not going to give Dellavedova as a lock, but at 3,100, he gives you some flexibility. So I could definitely see he's most likely going to be in the lineup, but I don't want to give him as a lock just because I hate him. So I think it's going to be Al Horford. I think it's going to be Val, Tobias Harris. And then I think it's going to be one of Mike Conley or Dylan Brooks, both 4,900. I don't know which way I'm going to go. I like the matchup more for Dylan Brooks in the pace-up spot against Atlanta. I mean, them and Memphis just run back and forth. They're both two of the top 5 teams in pace so far this year in the NBA. But if Mike Conley's starting, I definitely have love for him as well. So I think one of those two in cash will be good. And then, we talked about somebody like Pascal is somebody I definitely like who won't be as high owned in cash. But, last night we took Fulton Sarge, both sub 10% and both absolutely crushed. So I'm kind of done looking at percentage ownerships because it's kind of dictated some things in the past that I haven't liked, especially over this last week. Going with the numbers and what our sheet says is I think that's way better than just looking at ownership. So
for cash.
I definitely say it again.
For cash.
For cash. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm leaning. So Horford, Val, Tobias Harris, and then one of either Mike Conley or Dylan Brooks I think is good, and then obviously Dellavedova. I'm just gonna say him. Yeah, whatever. That's trash.
Yeah, and I also do think that obviously, guys, the percentage is going to be heavily changed here if Atlanta does end up ruling out Trae Young. We got that questionable tag.
Yep.
Now, guys, if that gets ruled out after lock, which I kind of hope it does at this point, TJ, just because we'd have so much leverage. No, we'd have so much leverage in GPPs, but that will obviously stress you out for cash. So right now, as of right now, guys, play the Atlanta Hawks if Trae Young's rolled out. If not, if the slate looks the same, I like Al Horford a lot tonight. I'm not saying he's a GPP option, but I'm saying he should be a staple in the majority of your lineups. Brandon Knight tops the list here as my favorite GPP option. Obviously, that 4.8K price tag, they're in a very pace-down spot, so if they happen to hit the over there, I do like him at 16% ownership, which is what he's showing, and a bunch of these Cavs are showing at the top of our list. They're still showing as their percentage ownership being too low, even though they got that bump, so I do like Kevin Love. Kevin Love averaging 1.46 fantasy points per minute with 15% ownership on the field. I do like him for leverage. I'm going to probably end up matching the field here on these Memphis guys. Not that I don't like them, it's just I'm higher on these tighter rotations here on Cleveland. Dellavedova, I'm slightly overweight on. Osman, I'm going to say it now, could end up paying off. Obviously has a high ceiling with his minutes. I know he's not that productive, but again, there's a very tight rotation here in the guard play. And then Sexton here, I'm showing overweight on him as well as of right now. I'm going to end up matching the field probably on these Utah guys too. I'm going to be overweight on Cleveland, most likely. I like these 76ers to match a field on. Tobias Harris's percentage ownership actually dropped, TJ. I don't know if you saw that. Just a tad, though.
Who was that?
Tobias Harris.
His ownership dropped?
Just a tad. I think it was at like 37, 38%. Now it's at 33. Dame matching the field. I think as far as the GPP options, guys, I'm really high on these Cavs. I'm decently high on the Warriors, but I'm more high on the Cavs. So I will say that. Those are my favorite GPP plays. I always throw an extra P in there. But yeah, I think that's it as far as my GPP plays. So, guys, we have about 8 minutes left, and then we're going to go ahead and get off for 15 minutes and then come back and answer any questions. Feel free to ask any questions now. I'm going to go ahead and monitor the chat. We're going to help you guys out.
You got something from, what was that?
What's up? Jeff Green starts. Nice.
Who?
Jeff Green.
Oh.
Houston.
We don't care.
Apparently, Houston was getting blown out, so that's fun. So, yeah, go ahead and ask any questions, guys. I'm going to go ahead and monitor these. Horford, yes. Horford, power forward, yes. Is Barnes okay for GPP? Absolutely. I do like Barnes. I think I have him down here. I have a match in the field, but I do like Barnes, of course, with minutes. With his minutes. Don't sleep on Dylan Brooks. Definitely don't sleep on Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is a decent play. I'm showing slightly overweight on him. As we've mentioned, is going to put up a ton of shots tonight, and Dylan Brooks is going to be the one to do it on that team. Him and John Morant probably going to put up the most shots tonight. All right. Woods or Love? I like Love tonight just because he got that heavy usage boost. Obviously, trusting stats there. I think he's going to be pretty low owned. I think he's showing actually lower owned than Woods. So I do like Kevin Love for GPPs. All right. What else are we looking at here?
Sexton or Shake Milton? Sexton. Kevin
yes,
Brooks?
Sexton.
Kevin Huerter or Brooks? I think.
There's a lot of Kevins.
Yeah, I would think Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter is solely dependent on Trae Young.
I also want to mention my boy Troy Brown snapped last night.
I know he did. I know. I watched it too. Yeah. Mulder for GPPs? Yeah, for sure. Jamal Murray GPPs? Yeah, for sure.
Val or Gobert?
I don't even think. I think Jamal Murray is actually going to carry a decent amount of ownership for cash too. I think he'll be like 25-ish%. So.
Val or Gobert for GPP? Only Gobert because he's lower owned. Okay, Valanciunas is a great play though.
Oh man, Troy Daniels is available to make his Nuggets debut on Saturday. He might get like 30.
That shakes things up for Denver.
Just kidding.
Wait, what? What'd you say? What were you kidding about?
That he's playing 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely gonna be in the rotation at some point though.
Honestly, I doubt he plays.
Whiteside or John Collins for util spot? Whiteside or John Collins for... Well, again, I can't answer any Atlanta questions. John Collins right now, if he plays, I like him, but I think Whiteside and John Collins are different price tag. Are they the same now?
No, they're probably roughly the same. I go Whiteside.
Yeah, I like Whiteside for his upside. I'm just going to keep saying that.
I think you just like to say that.
Morant or Sexton? Morant for cash. Sexton for GPPs.
I agree.
Fox, D. Brooks. This is a lineup, by the way. Fox, Brooks, Herter, Horford, Joval, Korkmaz, Ingles, Jokic. A lot of low-owned guys in there. So I would, well, first of all, put some higher-owned guys in there. Probably some more Memphis exposure. Ingles is coming off the bench. That's kind of iffy. And then, again, we don't know what's going on with Atlanta, so I'm going to hang off those guys, those Atlanta guys, until I hear more news. What do you think about John Collins? John Collins is not a bad play as of right now. He'll be an elite play if Trae Young's ruled out.
Yeah, he's not bad at all. Sexton, Morant, or Milton. Oh boy.
That's a tough one.
Cash would be Morant. GPP would be Sexton for me.
Like I said, I'm very high on these caps tonight, guys.
Shake Milton or Conley, that's definitely FanDuel. I'd go Conley if he starts. Barnes or Brooks, you tell Brooks.
Top guard play. Point guard.
Dover. No, I'd probably. I really like the John Morant matchup. I didn't name him as a cash play, but it's a nice matchup against Atlanta.
Delly, Brandon Knight for GPPs. Mike Conley's in there. Yeah, John Morant, obviously. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot of guard play tonight. A lot of different options. Good options.
Yeah, so has Bruce Brown, was he out last game? Yeah, he was. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bruce Brown hasn't played in a little bit.
He's only projected at 25 minutes though?
Yeah, so I think Bruce Brown will most likely eat a little bit at Brandon Knight and McRae's. Oh my God, Trae Young still remains questionable. Just like you in and you out, man. Come on, Trae.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of hope he waits.
I know you do, but then I gotta do a bunch of stuff after, and like I want to get down to 7 so that I can enjoy my Saturday night. And
what I love doing after slate locks is when somebody gets rolled out, just going all in on that team because I know the ownership will be drastically low. So
sorry, Dennis, we didn't mean to miss your question, but yeah, I think he'll eat a little bit at Brandon Knight and McRae's minutes.
Yeah.
Difference between cash and GPPs. GPPs are tournaments, cash are 50-50 or double ups.
Yep. Also, there's a ton of tutorial videos I have on YouTube, guys, if you want to give them a watch on all of those concepts.
Buddy Hield sleeper, I like it.
Barnes, Brooks, or Barton? Triple B. Let's see. I will say Brooks. I was about to say Brooks. Brooks for cash. I'll say Barnes for GPP. But I also like Barton. It's tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Brooks for cash and Barton for GPP.
Okay.
Hield. 40 cheeseburger on Hield, like it. Would you fade Dame? If you can get up to get him, I mean, if you have the money to do it with whatever you're building in terms of your roster construction, I don't hate it. UFC tonight, yes. Trae questionable, thank you. Tyus Young gonna hit value. I think he will.
Damian Lee thoughts. I do like Damian Lee tonight. Again, Golden State's playing on that tighter rotation. It's a pace-up spot for them. Damian Lee for just GPP though.
629, Matthew.
Yep. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and get off. I have a lot of number crunching to do. Of course, I have to update my Patreon page. What's up?
Sorry, I just wanted Horford over Nance. Somebody else.
Okay. Yeah, Horford is your biggest lock of the slate still. Rates very well on a sheet. Has high ownership for cash anyway. Okay. So, guys, we will be back. For anybody who's going to stay with us, thank you so much. And, again, we appreciate all your support, guys. We will be back. I'm going to go ahead and make your ears bleed here in just a second with some non-copyrighted music. And we will be back. House.
Talk to me like that, you little piece of shit.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking with us, and hopefully we can answer your questions. We got the big news that we were waiting on here with Trae Young, so that made things easier for us. However, I wanted that to come out after lock, and I wanted Trae Young to be ruled out. But TJ's done with his double up lineup. You're muted still. I don't know if you did on purpose.
Hi.
So, guys, we will be answering any questions. So, as far as the slate overview, it still remains the same as what we've been talking about. I'm still heavy on Cleveland. I like them a lot. Looks like Memphis's over-under's actually been going up. I don't know. I guess Trae Young kind of affected that. I don't know. I assume it would, just because he shoots the ball so frequently. So Memphis going up. Cleveland actually went up slightly. Again, not too much has changed. Golden State's been going down, but only slightly. So not too much has been affected, guys. So I'm not on Atlanta, TJ. Are you on Atlanta at all? I mean, it looks like a slight pace-up spot for them. I don't even know if that's... 113 is actually not that much for Atlanta.
For cash, no.
Yeah, not for cash. So I saw a question, is Cam Reddish viable outside GPP options for these guys? Again, slight pace-up spot for these guys, so you're going to target shooters if anybody. Obviously, Trae Young becomes GPP viable. It's going to have low ownership. I mean, 14%. If I had to recommend GPP option, it would be Trae Young from that game. I know it's boring, but Trae Young, shooters, so Cam Reddish is only GPP viable. I wouldn't start any of these guys in cash, though.
Yeah, so cash was, I had to make 2 really hard stands. One of them, the guys, I mean, I'll tell you now, is between Brooks and Conley for me, and it was very tough to decide. I went with my gut.
I did not go with my gut. I went with ownership, so...
Trae Young is in, yep. And then the other was fading somebody that could easily burn us. But again, I'm going with numbers, and as long as this other guy starts, I think he is a far better play.
Yeah, one thing we always do is we preach statistics over our gut feeling. So statistically, he did bode well on our sheet, so we went with him for cash. So my GPP lineup, guys, I will say, I won't give it to you guys, but I will say I'm heavy on the Cavs, and then I filled everybody else that is chalky in there. So single entry. For my GPP cheat sheet, I won't give the full breakdown, but I can show you my lineup construction here. Isn't the exact. I purposely don't show you my exact ones just because obviously I don't want to give that away to everybody. But like I said, it's pretty much the same as what we've been talking about. I'll go ahead and answer any questions, guys. Lillard and Herter or Ja and McCollum? I'm going to say Lillard and Herter. I think McCollum's a little too pricey for me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Although I like Ja. Yeah, that's. I hope that's GPP.
Yeah, I hope you're not deciding between those two and cash. Type in Trey on Twitter. It's hilarious to see the Trey coronavirus memes. Yeah, I made that joke last night.
You said that, and I legitimately thought you were serious.
No, I'm not.
Well, yeah, no, I know that, but
everybody's freaking out about the coronavirus. I don't know if it's fake news or.
Is Trey a must? No, not for cash.
Oh, definitely not a must.
Nance or Tristan?
Yeah, about that. Outside GPP options for me for both those guys.
Nance or Sec. I mean, that's gotta be. I feel like that's FanDuel, unless you're like trying to decipher which one you want. Because Nance is 7-1 and TT 6-2. I would play the middle and take Sexton. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I like the guard play from Cleveland a lot more.
Except for one.
Knight for GPP, absolutely. I like Brandon Knight for GPP a lot tonight.
Mm-hmm. Me dos.
I think he's one of my favorite plays. Him, Love, Deli's up there, Osman's showing very low owned, which is phenomenal. I like how bad Osman is, and with the minutes that he's going to be getting tonight, could be hitting some crazy value. Obviously sarcasm. But yeah, I mean, he should get to value pretty easily tonight.
Did you hear what Amanda just said or no?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good.
All right, so looking at updated percentage ownership, not anything has changed, guys. Not anything has changed with the percentage ownership. So again, the chalkiest guys, if you want an overview of that, Horford, Tobias Harris, Valanciunas tops the list, Brooks, Deli, and then Lillard.
Real quick, someone just mentioned Harden. Harden actually played at 5, so he's not on the slate. So that's why there was no Harden talk. Conley starting, yes. Conley starting.
I think Harden's an outside GPP option, though, for sure on this slate.
Yeah, I wouldn't play Harden for cash, but, definitely somebody I want to match the field on in GPPs.
All right. Whiteside cash, no.
I don't hate it, personally. I don't have him, but
I'd have to see the rest of the lineup.
Yeah, I think it depends. So he's obviously your spend up. I don't hate Whiteside for cash, but I think there's better routes that you can take in terms of
does somebody have the coronavirus in your house?
That's Amanda. She's grunting. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I just want to make sure.
Go ahead and keep firing away the questions, guys. Also, if you haven't already, we would really like it if you guys hit the like button. We do appreciate all the support. We always have the one guy that decides to have a bad morning on a Saturday morning and dislikes our videos. So I do not like whoever that is. If you guys would show the support and hit the like button, appreciate that. I don't really see any more questions, guys. Are we boring you? Come on. No, I mean, this isn't not too exciting of a slate compared to the other NBA slates that we've had. So, a lot more.
You guys can sit here and sweat out my my $400 ticket to see if I'm going to enter the contest or not.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm actually curious about that, and I want to play Guess the Ownership because that's fun.
Barton for GPPs, yeah. Tobias cash, yeah. 4,200 left for. I guess I moved the.
Barton's ownership actually isn't even that bad to be cash viable if he's one of your last spots.
Yeah. 4,200 left for cash.
A dislike is good for you guys, even though because it counts as an interaction. Overall, it still doesn't rank our videos that well. If you guys are constantly disliking our videos, it doesn't rank well. Just the FYI.
What haters. Mitchell, is that for GPP or cash? Alicia, I think it's dependent on whether or not Holmes plays. Tobias or Horford, I would take Al Horford.
Top cash plays. Do you want to go over that real quick?
Yeah. Hold on real quick. 4,200 Tyus Jones. Yeah, I don't hate that, but I just want to know if whoever was looking for Mitchell, you're looking for the 4,200 or under. I just want to know if it's GPP or cash.
Dennis, I want to answer your question real quick. Do you have a video about contest strategy on DK? I do. I actually have a live stream. I went live in the morning, in the middle of the week, and I talked to some viewers about contest selection. If you guys want to check that out, it's about a 30-minute video in our tutorial section. We have it ranked in the playlist, so if you want to give that a look.
Mulder for GPP. If Mulder starts, I really like him. And I think he will start, so I really like him. So, Mitchell, GPP 4,200. Matt, what do you think? Because I kind of have love for like a guy like Mikhailuk, Jordan Clarkson, or...
I'm sorry, who was the person?
It was just 4,200 or less for GPPs.
Oh, okay.
I like Tyus Jones if the minutes were a little bit up. Good matchup against Atlanta. I like Mikhailuk, and I like Jordan Clarkson. Any of those guys that you would recommend?
Yeah, and you can even get down to Glenn Robinson too. I mean, there's a lot of decent plays. I'd say Tyus Jones has upside, and Kyle Anderson just because they're in that pace up spot. I'd probably go the safe route and probably plug in one of those Memphis guys. They're both gonna carry low ownership too.
I like Tyus. Whiteside or Wood? I go Whiteside. Matt, I might not agree.
It depends on what contest too, because Wood's showing decently owned.
Brooks or Knight for GPP? Knight.
Yeah, Knight for GPP. Brooks, again, does have a lot of upside tonight just because he shoots the ball. Not saying he's a good shooter, just saying he shoots the ball.
Just want to be clear on that. Yo, this contest, Matt, still, it only has 5 people.
Unbelievable. So we might see TJ get into a live final, guys. If he can place first out of what would it be? 7 people. All right. So tonight we're gonna split it out with TJ. $400 entry.
Betting. I thought it was for some live sort of DFS event that they were gonna be hosting. But it's
sports betting's fun too.
I might have to dust off the old betting shoes and
Yeah.
Dab a little bit. I wonder if I can sell that ticket if I get it.
You can actually. I know you can.
So it says the value is $7,400 if I win this. So yeah, I'll just take the 7,400.
Qualifiers are fun. I've never won a qualifier because I've never entered qualifiers, but I know that they are fun. I want to get more of a bankroll before I can go ahead and test my luck in those. I know TJ entered a last-minute contest yesterday, which is why he's having this opportunity, which was a phenomenal thing to do. If you guys have any questions about overlay is huge in DFS, huge advantage. You see all the Sharks entering in last-minute contests for overlay.
Mark Levin's in it, and so is Peter Gibbons. So
easy.
Couple heavy hitters, but I mean, no one that we've never bested before.
Tips on how you get your wife to leave you alone from 6 to 7 p.m. every day. Mine just goes to sleep.
Married. Yeah, we're not married. We have girlfriends.
Yeah, girlfriends. It just goes to sleep.
Yeah. Amanda was napping when we started streaming, so
I have a girlfriend after this, if she hears that.
What?
If she heard that comment, she might not. I might not have a girlfriend after tonight.
Fade Deli and GPPs. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I made a hard stand in cash on Deli, so take that as you wish.
Matt, are you on Philly for GPP? Not as high as I was the other night. I'm on Cleveland and the Warriors actually for GPPs. Those are going to be my stacks. I'm more high on Cleveland.
Okay.
Cleveland, It's Cleveland, a couple guys from Detroit, Warriors, and then again for the 76ers, I'm just gonna plug in the chalk. I think that's gonna be what I'm gonna be doing with Philly tonight. Fat Boy and Barton or Harris Gobert. Fat Boy is Jokic, I know because you make fun of him all the time. And Barton or Harris and Gobert.
Tabletop. I really like that. Sorry, Matt.
That's tough, man. I would probably go with Harris and Gobert. Just because Gobert's lower owned. Sexton or... I think that's Sex or Nor.
So tough. Sexton or... So tough.
I had to decide myself. And I'll tell you, I'm high in Cleveland, if that didn't give it away.
I like both of them. Thoughts? We're getting a lot of Josh Jackson questions. I mean, he's been so consistent, so I definitely like him as a GPP play. I definitely like him as a GPP play. Good matchup tonight too. So 4,700 left in forward slot. Let's see. What do we got here? What do we got? I gotta make sure I'm paying attention though.
Yeah, I'm looking at my contest now too.
4,700 forward spot. I don't hate Cedi Osman, unfortunately. I guess it depends on the contest, but he's going to see a ton of minutes tonight, even in a blowout. So
9 out of 21.
I don't hate Osman. Sexton, Brooks, Bogdan, Osman, Whiteside.
If you guys
love GP. I like it.
If you guys are MME players, there's a contest here, 150 max, $5. I don't know if you guys play that much, but that is perfect. There's only 5,000 people in it. If you guys want a good GPP contest to target, that is a phenomenal one.
Matt, there's 10 people now in the...
I don't know, man. I'd probably wait. I'm just being...
I don't know. I really like the lineup, and there's another qualifier. Actually, no.
All right, guys. I'm going to ask the stream, should he enter tonight or should he wait? All right, should he enter tonight? There's only 9 out of 21 that are filled, so he'd be competing against... He'd probably be competing against probably about 15, 16 other people.
Yeah, there's 11.
Okay. First place is the only one that will... Well, 2 places went, but first place is the live finale. Second place is what, $1,000?
Only 400.
400?
Yeah.
Okay. So, should he enter this contest? He won last night. He took down the GPP, which is why he's in this position now. I'm rooting for him. The other guys are rooting for him.
What do you think? Do you think so? Like tomorrow, do you think? I have a free $400 ticket because I won a qualifier last night. So it's another qualifier, and if I win this, I get invited to a live event.
And it's paid for.
It's paid for. Yeah, 12 people now. It might fill, man.
It might fill.
Man,
I wouldn't.
Man, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't do it just because you want those overlays, man. You did it last night.
This is still an overlay.
He said I'd hold off. We got hold off. We got go for it. How much entry? $400. It's a $400 single entry.
Like 12. I told you
26 seconds.
If it stays under 15, I'm doing it.
Is it?
Is that 12 to 21 right now?
You got... Oh, it's only 12. Okay, well, you got 15 seconds. I'm backing up. I'm not saying another word. And the results are in. He did it. I can tell by his face. All right, so TJ is going to be competing against... Here, I can tell you guys.
15
people. That's about how much I thought.
6 people overlay. 2 other people joined in at the last second. My guy didn't.
It's because our viewers are watching and they know you suck. No, I'm kidding. No, so that's what you're doing. So I wish you could live stream that. That would be fun to watch.
Well, I'm gonna go out tonight, so I might be intoxicated. So maybe when I get back, I mean, I'll tell you now. I have saved the 400. I can't say it's a ticket, and I have to enter it at some point. So I like the lineup that I have tonight. So.
What's the ownership looking like in that contest right now? Or is there any?
So what we have Utah and Detroit.
Utah and Detroit. Did anybody take anybody from them?
I mean, I have Mike Conley. I'll tell you that. Mike Conley, 33%. So that means out of 15, so 5 people have Conley. Brandon Knight, 26%, so 4 people have him. Christian Wood, 26%, so 4 people have Christian Wood. Let's see what McLovin has. McLovin has Mike Conley, and that's it. Me and McLovin, man.
You're gonna have the same lineup. Do you split that? Do you split that?
You're just listening to us.
If you win, do you split that?
I don't know.
That would be
hope
weird.
He would just be like, "Hey, I have so much money. You take it, buddy." And I'd be like, "You know what, man?"
No, you would be saying that to McLovin. Come on.
Oh God, no. Wish. Oh, that'd be incredible. All right, so the one thing I do want to look at is I ended up going, for those of you who took the cash lineup, I did go Conley over Dylan Brooks. So that's going to be the sweat of the night for all of you cash lineup people. God, it looks like $512.
OMG Mock is in that. I think McLovin's in all those contests, guys. I don't think it's a big surprise. I think at this point,
actually 40% in the $50 single entry that I'm in, but in the $25,
you guys, hold on, TJ, pause. You know TJ finds head-to-heads, and he will purposefully enter them against McLovin because that's how much confidence he has.
Oh yeah, I do it all the time.
McLovin's a shark, right? But again, guys, we're confident in our own statistics. We have the edge. I don't want to compare us to a shark. We're gonna get there one day, but I think that we can easily beat those guys on any given night. It's not like we're struggling against sharks. We've done it many times this season.
There was a week straight that I purposely entered not any highs, like I wasn't going $100 head to head, but I was going up against Chipotle and McLovin each night. I think I went 4-3 against McLovin and 3-4 against Chipotle, so nothing too crazy. Not like I dominated them, but
yeah, I mean we're right there. It's just the only thing is they're
both very good.
Guys, the only difference between us and the Sharks is that they've been playing since 2009, and we've been playing since 2016, 2015. Okay, so that's the only difference. I mean,
and they have way more money than us.
Yeah.
Wiggins or Love, GPP's, I'd go Love. Yeah, McLovin's everywhere, man. I would be.
He's on esports.
My mouth, yeah, I know. Thank God. No, my mouth would drop if I saw how much money he puts in each night. You know, I don't speak for Matt, but last year I think I was playing with a little bit more night in and night out. I mean, there was a span where I was putting what, Matt, like $800 to $1,000 a night.
Yeah, there was one night where you put $1,000.
Yeah, I've toned it down a little bit because I have some more. I have more
responsibilities.
Not responsibilities, but more pressing obligations that I need to pay for. So definitely tone it down a little bit, but last year was crazy.
I thought it said Aaron Hernandez, but it says Aaron Hawkwater. Hawkwater. Thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate your support, guys. We will be signing off here. TJ,
let's go,
again,
I gotta go.
Good luck to you tonight. Let me know. Keep us updated. Also,
guys. Pray for Mike Conley. Hopefully he has a strong night. If he outperforms Dylan Brooks, I know the cash lineup will be looking good. For my sake, I'll be looking good in that tournament. I'll keep you guys posted. For those of you who are not in the Discord, that is where I'll be posting updates on the lineup. Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty cool to win that and represent Daily Grind down in wherever.
Bring in a ton of sweatshirts.
I'd be throwing them out.
Yeah.
Who needs a sweatshirt? You get a sweatshirt. All right, yeah, I gotta go. I have people coming over the apartment. So.
All right, guys, I'm signing off too. Again, join the Discord if you haven't already. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
Love you guys. Have a good night.
Lose your fucking mind.